Hello guys, it's your favorite Swiggle streamer, Glurmit. And I'm kind of preaching now. I just like to imagine that's how you feel. Anyways, we're back with another video. We are on the free-to-play account, as you guys can see, 274,000 GP. But that is not today's video. It's not free-to-play Friday, so it's not a free-to-play video. However, I'm on here because the topic of today's video is very free-to-play relevant. So guys, for today's video, what we're going to be talking about is some low gear teams you can be running. So if you're someone who's just following the channel, and this is why I'm making today's video, because I know a lot of you are joining because of the free-to-play content we're producing, this may be a video that will help you out a bunch. Now guys, I will be completely honest just from the get-go that there are teams missing. There are teams you may think should be included. However, to keep the video in a somewhat decent time frame, I've decided to limit it to like 6 or 7 teams that I think are worth pushing for. These are just in general teams you should be going for. So I just want to also clarify that, because otherwise someone's going to watch and be like, Glam, why isn't K-Beck here with the Poncho Bros? Because I always talk about how that's a good team. This is meant to be a good selection of teams that would work no matter the farming guide you're following, whether it's mine, whether it's someone else's. These are all teams everyone should be farming. So the first one on the list is going to be the Night Sisters, and you can take these to gear 10, gear 11, gear 12. They are such a good team. Bear in mind it does become better once you have Merrin up and running at gear 12, because she has one locked ability, which is this one. However, what I would say, guys, is you don't actually need that. And if you go and apply the Omicron, which is on this one here, you can actually just skip this entirely and still get good results because of the way Night Sisters function. So you can definitely leave them below gear 12, but great team nonetheless. Alright guys, so moving on to the second team, we actually have the Phoenix Crew. Now you do get given these at 4 or 5 stars if you do all the Journey Guide events. I haven't got around to that just yet on this account. And they are a very good team that do last a long time as well. So the benefit of this team is Hera and Rex are both requirement characters. Hera is needed for the Profundity farm, and Rex is obviously needed for Leia. But the other good thing is, with the exception of Rex, who actually works at low gear, which makes it even better, the rest of the team is very, very easy to farm because they're all relatively accessible. Hera's in Galactic War, Kaden's in Squad Arena, Chopper's in the Cantina store, and then Sabine, I think she's in the Fleet store sometimes, but she's also a Dark Node farm. So she's just the only hard node that you'd actually have to farm for this team to function. And the best thing is you can leave Rex at 2 or 3 stars. It does mean you can't use him in assault battles, but that's also okay. And what you're going to find is that with one Zeta, the team is going to be fully functioning even at a high level, and that is on Captain Rex. So this is a really, really good team to do, and because they're easy investment, taking them to gear 12 basically costs nothing, especially ever since those raid changes. You can gear 12 this team in less than 2 weeks if you really wanted to. The next team on the list is actually going to be an Iden team, guys. Now I left the last slot open because it's open to whatever you want to do. I do recommend Iden, Shore Trooper and Stormtrooper as the trio. The reason for this is because if you want to use them on defense, I am a big believer in still using defensive teams or farming defensive teams, even if you're free to play or early game, because a defensive team will last you the cycle of the game. Obviously there's metas and they come and go, but there's always teams that work, and one of them in 3v3 especially is Iden, Shore Trooper, Stormtrooper. Even at high relic levels, this is going to cause problems for everyone outside of the top of Kyber. Then we have Gar Saxon and Super Commando. This is a really, really good team to farm and worth going out of your way. Taking them to gear 12, modding them well. You don't need any Zetas, but I would recommend, if you're going to 2-man it, which is what I'm suggesting, that you actually go ahead and apply the lead. Only because it's going to give you that extra health recovery, which means the team's going to function a little bit better. But it's a really, really, really strong team for next to no investment. And the best thing is, as you add more Mandalorians, you can just add them into this team. But for the most part, you're only ever going to need 2 of them, and you can 2-man so many good teams or use them for cleanup. So it's very nice to have. Another quick disclaimer, because you guys are watching this and probably thinking, where are the Omicrons? I've tried to limit this video to no Omicrons. Even for Iden, you can run this without the Omicrons, no issue. Because Omicron teams opens a whole nother can of worms, guys. So I just wanted to kind of keep it nice and simple and go with teams that don't require Omicrons. Next is going to be Bounty Hunters. Taking them to gear 7 would be very beneficial. We have Boss, we have Mandalorian, we have Grief. You need them for the Executor farm. all of them at gear 12 or higher, to do BAM obviously, and also to do the exec itself, because you need Bosket Relic. The last 2 slots are open to whatever you want. I would recommend, if you go down the Omicron route, putting Zam in there. If not, then go for whoever you want. Honestly, it doesn't really make much of a difference, but it's a very, very strong team that works at gear 7, gear 8, gear 9, gear 10, gear 12, whatever gear investment you have. If it's modded correctly and you have the required ability investment, I guess, it's a very strong team that's going to be seeing you through the game. Then we have Gungans, and I didn't realize how good Gungans were because they released when I was on my break from the game. For those of you who are just joining the channel or just first time watching, well, firstly, hello there. And secondly, I did take a break from the game because I was moving houses. I've got a video on it already, and that's talking about in streams. And Gungans released during this break, and when I came back, I'll be honest, I didn't really have that much interest in them. But the more I've been using them on the main account, they're now almost relic on there, and the more that I've been kind of using on here because I was given them for free in the early game, the more I start to think they're actually a really nice team to have. The reason for this is this team will function very nicely with as little as 1 Zeta. So guys, that 1 Zeta is going to be on Phalanx, and what it's going to do is whenever the shield generator loses 2 or more stacks in a single turn, the Phalanx is going to taunt. And this means if you go up against the correct teams, and it is one of those teams that you kind of have to plan what you're going to use it against, but if you go up against teams with lots of assists on offense, because you can't set this in defense, it won't work. Gungans don't set them without Jar Jar on defense because you're losing so much synergy. Obviously in 3v3 is slightly different. But if you have this Zeta and nothing else, obviously Boston also has good ones, everyone else I wouldn't worry about for now, you're going to be able to beat so many teams, and it's because of the way the protection mechanics working. You're gaining so much protection, you're not really dying, you're immune to instant defeat immunity and all of that. And the best thing is, if you take it against the right team, it's easy banners, guys, because you're always undermanning. Now if you want to take it to the next level, you can actually go ahead and apply Boss Nass's lead. And what this is going to do is going to give you bonus protection. It's going to give you max protection stacking and all of that bonuses, which is also really nice. And it also gives you the speed down. Obviously, his unique is also very good, but yeah, guys, honestly, you just need 1 Zeta. The team's going to be functioning at a very high level, so it's worth having. I'm really a big fan of these at the moment. And then the last team for the video today, guys, is going to be Imperial Troopers. I couldn't leave them out of the video. When you talk about low gear teams, when you talk about easy investment, this is the team to beat. Piet is needed, obviously, for the executive farm. Gideon isn't actually required for anything just yet, but one day he will be for sure. Dark Trooper is the same, and then Veers is down here. He's needed for the C farm, but taking him to gear 7, gear 8 is perfectly fine. I would always recommend Dark Trooper and Piet to relics. Obviously, the higher you take them, the higher output you're going to have in terms of what you can beat. And they are kind of on the rise. There are some teams releasing that people are setting, for example Zalbar Omicron, where troopers can actually deal some damage there, so they are a nice team to have even in the late game. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. My name is Glurmit, and as always guys, have a glurming day.